Governor E. Marley and welcome to Let's Play Loom. I know there are other videos of this game on YouTube, but I love the game and this is my first Let's Play, so I thought I'd give it a go. Okay, a bit of background for those of you who've never actually played it before. The game was released in 1990 by Lucasfilm Games, now LucasArts, and was written by Brian Moriarty. It uses the Scam engine, however it doesn't use the verb object design UI that's seen in Monkey Island and other LucasArts games. It actually uses its own unique user interface, which we will see in a little bit. It was originally released on DOS floppy disk for the Amiga and the Atari, but it has been remastered and ported to the PC a couple of times over the years. However, when the port happened, it included voice acting, but unfortunately it also removed some of the beautiful music taken from Swan Lake, and has actually abridged chunks of the dialogue. This is because they didn't want the game to go over onto a second compact disc. I know. Anyway, I'm going to be playing the version that's currently available on Steam right now. But where I see anyway that seems to have large chunks of the dialogue missing, I will try and fill you in. Okay, so to the game. As you can see behind the game paused bar, you can actually see three options: practice, standard and expert. Practice is just that. It's a basic, easy version of the game which tells you everything you need to know. It has all the notes written in a little box at the bottom. Standard removes that, and you need to actually you're more reliant on your ears and what you see around you. Expert is really hard if you don't have the ability to pick notes up very easily. You have no visual keys whatsoever. It's purely down to your ability to pick up musical notes by sound, which I'm not very good at, so I'm just going to go with the standard for this version.
Please choose your skill level.
Okay, and now we go into the introduction.
Welcome to the age of the great guilds.
Son of Signa, it is the dawn of your 17th year. The elders await you in the sanctuary.
I've never known them to weave such a bright messenger nymph. I wonder why the elders want to see me. I'd better get down to the village.
Okay then, I'm gonna flick text on just in case I talked over something that may be important, so at least then you can read it at the bottom. Okay, for those of you who don't know the game, we are Bobbin Threadbare, member of the Guild of Weavers. In the description of this video there are links to an audio drama which was released originally with the game back in the 90s, and it basically tells you where we are in regards to how society is set up, and it actually tells you a little bit of story. It gives you a little story about how we got to this point, as in literally. At the end, Bobbin is asleep at this tree, and at the start of the game, he awakes at this tree. But for those of you who don't want to listen to it, but seriously, go listen to it. The basic gist is this: the world is now set up in guilds. All the craftspeople. It's very industry based. So if you're not in a guild, you are nobody. Some guilds are very powerful. Others are more insular, each with their own rules, each with their own way of living based on the terminology. Everyone has their own religion based on their skills. For example, the weavers of cloth, believe that the world is formed by a great pattern, and each person has a thread weaving its way through that pattern to their destiny. Now, because of some of the abilities that the weavers have developed over the generations rather, they are viewed as witches and warlocks and things of evil. So, but their cloth has been highly prized. So, as a guild, they're very, very rich. In order to avoid persecution, they purchased an island and shipped off there to a man, and have never been heard of again. Their rules of membership prevent anyone who is not actually born a member of the guild to join it. This, as you can imagine, has its consequences. For example, after so many generations of having a limited gene pool, the weavers are practically sterile. Very rarely is a child is born, and if it is born, most of them are completely without hope, and it's actually mentioned as monsters. Lady Signa, Bobbin's mother, had at the start of this had recently miscarried a child, and in her grief she demanded of the elders that they use the great loom to help end the suffering of the guild of the weavers by allowing them to bring forth children. The elders denied her request, so one night she sneaked into the sanctuary where the great loom is kept and drew forth Bobbin, created him with using one grey thread. The elders saw this as blasphemy and banished her from the island, transforming her into a swan. Bobbin has been raised outside of the guild as the elders fear what his unexpected birth might mean for the pattern. He's been raised by the serving woman, Dame Hetchel, and he has been barred from learning any of the skills of the weavers. However, Dame Hetchel, loving Bobbin as her own son, has been trying to teach Bobbin in secret so that he can protect himself, or his talent can be used for good, while the elders fear that any talent he learns would be used for evil. So, it was decreed that his fate would be decided on his 17th birthday, which is today, and we have now been summoned to the Council of the Elders. Okay, so that's that backstory done and dusted. As you can see, if you hover over anything that is clickable, it will appear here in the bottom corner, which is handy because you're not always sure what is clickable and what isn't, and some of the click points are a bit temperamental.
It's dawn. The last leaf of autumn.
Okay, so let's head down to the village, down the mountain pass. It's like I said, some of the click points are very temperamental, so if I end up looking like a muppet, walking backwards and forwards, trying to get the click point, I apologise profusely. Okay, now, I don't know how much time I have left on the end of this video, so I'm going to stop it there, and we can go and learn our fate from the elders in the next video.